So how will overturning Roe v. Wade affect the midterms? It's the question everyone's asking, and we're going to answer it right here. We're going to look at data from the 2016 and 2020 elections to determine who's really motivated to vote on abortion as their number one issue. And the answer is guaranteed to surprise you. You are not going to want to miss this. Greetings, patriots all across the globe. Dr. Steve here with you. Great to be with you as always. I am your Patriot Professor here to help you think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. And you know what else I want you to do? I want you to stick it to woke cancel culture by clicking on the link below and supporting our friend Mike Lindell and MyPillow. I'm sure you all heard that Walmart stores have now canceled Mike's products from their shelves. And so let's show Mike some love as he shows it back to us, because he's offering us his lowest prices ever with my code Turley. So for example, usually the classic MyPillow is $69.98, but now if you use my code Turley, you can get your own classic MyPillow for just $19.98. And that applies to all their products, to over 200 of them in their catalog. So don't wait. Click on that link below. Get one for yourself. Get another one for the patriots in your life. Let's support our fellow patriot, Mike Lindell, and let's get the best sleep of our life in the process. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. As the fallout for the Supreme Court's overturning of Roe v. Wade continues to work its way through the scores of shell-shocked woke leftists throughout the nation, obviously the meltdowns continue. You know, it's very much like they're going through the various stages of grief, right? At first, there's denial, right? So right after the decision was announced, Bike Ride and Biden came out and defiantly declared, "This is not over." I mean, that was the translation. He actually said, and his aides told us that what he meant was, no, this is not over. We are going to find a way around this decision. And of course, here we are a number of days later in this post-Roe era, and no way around has been found. And then there was Elizabeth Warren, who suggested that perhaps Planned Parenthood could set up tents on federal land to conduct abortions in red states. Yeah, good luck with that. So it was very clear the number of woke leftists were in complete denial. But some of them went just straight to the anger stage, right? Like Ocasio-Cortez and Maxine Waters, Mad Max. They took to the streets and started screaming out their bizarre woke talking points that the Supreme Court was illegitimate. We needed to rise up and push back against this decision. By the way, no insurrection there. No insurrection, of course. I mean, after all, whoever said that protests have to be peaceful? And so now you got Ocasio-Cortez wanting Kavanaugh and Gorsuch impeached for lying under oath to Congress about their views on Roe, which, of course, they didn't even remotely do. But who cares? I'm angry. And this decision was illegitimate. That's what Cortez kept saying. This decision is illegitimate. I mean, what does that even mean? I mean, you could literally think of that sentence all day long, and at no point will it even remotely begin to make any sense whatsoever. And then some actually went to the bargaining stage, right? Like Dick's Sporting Goods and Starbucks, who were overtly offering to cover the expenses of their employees in red states who would have to incur these expenses they needed to travel for an abortion. Which, of course, is just another way of admitting that, hey, it's cheaper for us to pay to get an abortion than for maternity leave. So that's just our corporatist, globalist, greedy class showing how much they care. So those are the stages of grief that we're seeing. And this is all obviously leading to the big question that more and more people are asking. How will overturning Roe affect the midterms? Do we have any hard data to make an educated projection of what the political ramifications of Roe's reversal will be in November? Now, apparently even President Trump, the man more responsible than anyone else for Roe's demise, even he is reportedly concerned about the political consequences of Roe for the Republicans in the midterms. And of course, he's ironically echoing what the legacy media is peddling in terms of what are the supposed most likely consequences of Roe's reversal. The problem here, of course, is this is all speculation. And it's speculation that's obviously driven by the narratives pushed by the lamestream media. The legacy media, we have to remember, peddles narrative not news. They push frames that are more akin to blatant propaganda than they are to try to objectively and accurately explain domestic and world events. So this is what the postmodern philosopher Jean Baudrillard referred to as the simulacra or hyperreality. Baudrillard argued that simulacra or hyperreality is what happens when the media's fabrication of reality actually replaces reality. It cuts us off from what's actually real, and the mediation society becomes increasingly artificial and manipulated. And if these reports about President Trump are true, then it looks like he's been manipulated by the fabricated reality peddled by the left-wing activists disguised as journalists in the lamestream media. And again, this begs the question, do we have any real data that could cut through this fabricated reality so as to more accurately predict what the political fallout from Roe's reversal is going to be in November? And the good news is that we do, and it's going to absolutely blow you away. Now, before I forget, we do have a huge 4th of July special going on at our merch store where you can get shirts like this one, Freedom is Never Free. Up to the 4th of July, you can buy 2 shirts and you're going to get one for free. It's our gift to you as we together celebrate faith, family, and freedom and the birth of our nation. So make sure to click on that link below and visit our awesome merch store. Grab a couple of shirts for yourself, and then you get a free one for the patron in your life. They're going to absolutely love you for it. Click on that link below or go to store.turleytalks.com. All right, here we go. Drum roll. I am very appreciative of an article that was published in the British Express the other day, written by Patrick Basham of the Democracy Institute, where he lays out an evidential case for what to expect from the midterms in the shadow of Roe's reversal. Basham notes that there are 3 key lines of evidence that are highly relevant here in terms of their predictive significance for the midterms. First and foremost, in both 2016 and 2020, Democracy Institute polls, which are very, very good, found among voters who prioritized abortion above all other issues, this is key, the vast majority of those voters were not pro-choice voters. They were pro-life, anti-abortion voters. Single-issue voters, when it comes to abortion, are overwhelmingly pro-life. For example, data shows that pro-life voters are significantly more prone to only vote for a candidate who agrees with their position on abortion than is a pro-choice voter, by an almost 10-point margin, 27% to 18%. A Morris poll corroborated that. They found that pro-life voters are more likely to say that a candidate's abortion stance is a major factor in their voting over pro-choice voters, a factor by 10, 45% to 35%. So that's the first thing we need to get here. The voters most motivated to vote on abortion as their number one priority are pro-life voters. The second line of evidence is that, ironically, these pro-life voters are overwhelmingly female. It's actually men who are the ones who are overwhelmingly pro-abortion. It's not women, it's men. Again, this obviously goes completely counter to the narrative that's peddled 24/7 by the ultra-left legacy media. But survey after survey confirms that women are far more likely to be pro-life than men are. So much for patriarchy. And then finally, the third line of evidence here is that 8 out of 10 of these pro-life single-issue voters chose Trump over Hillary in 2016, and 9 out of 10 chose Trump over Biden in 2020. Other polls found similar results. And this analysis is being corroborated more and more by the polling that's been coming out over the last weekend. So, for example, the latest Politico Morning Consult poll that was conducted over the weekend after the Roe reversal decision was announced found that voters were overwhelmingly concerned with the economy for the upcoming midterms. Over 40% of voters surveyed said that the economy was their number one issue of concern. Only 11% of those voters said that abortion was their number one single issue concern. And based on this data, to add insult to injury to the pro-abortion crowd, the majority of that 11% are pro-life. So as it turns out, unprecedented inflation, gas prices, a looming recession, baby formula shortages, supply chain interruptions, the border implosion, woke school boards, these things are far more pressing on the hearts and minds of voters than Roe, especially after all the pro-abortion voters who live in blue states find out Nothing has changed for them. They can go on with their bizarre pedicidal rituals unimpeded. Based on this data, the only effect that the Roe reversal will have on the midterms is the effect that the abortion issue almost always has. It virtually always ends up benefiting the right as opposed to the political left. So obviously, we'll keep an eye on how things develop here. But if you're a Democrat, the midterms are just going to add to your overwhelming grief. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my latest video I just uploaded on the Supreme Court permanently crushing the woke leftist world. You're absolutely going to love it. You're not going to want to miss it. So make sure to click on that link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.